you. Jewish community groups say that 2 people have been stabbed in Golders Green in North London. One suspect has reportedly been arrested. We can just show you a map of the area. You can see Golders Green, sort of northwest of London, just north of Camden there on that map. We can bring you some of the information from 2 of the organisations involved in it. Let's bring in our correspondent, Graham Stothard, who joins me now. Graham, what can you tell us about what we're hearing so far?
Well, at the moment, this is developing quite quickly. Obviously, there's police involvement, but what we're hearing at the moment is from, as you say, those Jewish community groups. One of them is called Shomrim. They're a registered charity, and they operate a kind of a mobile neighbourhood watch unit. And they've said there's a knife attack on Golders Green Road, suspect detained by Shomrim and arrested. One male was seen running along Golders Green Road, armed with a knife and attempting to stab Jewish members of the public. Shomrim responded immediately and detained the suspect. Police attended and deployed a taser. The male has now been arrested. 2 victims have been stabbed and are being treated by Hatzola. The suspect is in custody. Further updates to follow. Now, Hatzola, if you remember, are the organisation that help run ambulances, Jewish community ambulances, those with the vehicles that were destroyed a few weeks ago now in an arson attack. So there's been, incidents there in recent history as well. We've also had a statement from CST. They are another kind of a Jewish community group. They are a security organisation that has started to become more active with the recent attacks, recent incidents. They said as well, they confirmed, they said there has been a knife attack today in Golders Green. The suspect has been arrested. We would like to thank Shomrim, Hatzola and Metropolitan Police for their swift response. We're working closely with the police and urge anyone with information to contact either the police, Shomrim and CST immediately. Now, at the moment, we haven't heard anything from the Metropolitan Police. We are, of course, trying to get in touch with them. But obviously a deeply concerning incident, especially in light of what's been going on at synagogues, particularly across London, in Manchester, obviously, as well, and that arson or suspected arson attack on those Hatzola ambulances just really up the road from this attack.
And this is something that obviously enormous concern within the Jewish community about, also something that the Prime Minister himself has spoken out about and urged calm and talked about how there is great solidarity from the government and from the rest of society for what is happening here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's such tensions are so high globally, and we've seen deep divisions starting to kind of etch themselves across a number of populations. But at the moment, with this incident, it's still developing. We have these 2 statements from these community groups. We are waiting to hear from the Metropolitan Police. No doubt there'll have to be a political response as well. Sir Keir Starmer has been very, very quick to condemn the suspected attacks and attempted arson attacks on synagogues across London in the last few weeks, and of course that attack on the ambulances in Golders Green as well. We are still waiting to hear more from the Metropolitan Police. And we are obviously investigating what's happening on the ground as well. But I've been to, Golders Green in the immediate aftermath of that arson, which turned into an explosion when those oxygen tanks in the ambulances caught fire and blew up, essentially. It damaged the synagogue there. It damaged the building nearby, a block of flats. And I've been to the synagogue in Finchley, which there was a recent attempted arson, and the people I spoke to there, they're scared because these are religious buildings, people of a certain religion who feel targeted. So whatever is happening with this incident, obviously incredibly serious. We definitely, we can be quite sure of that. This is going to do nothing for those communities who are already feeling under attack.
And there has been concern that some of these attacks that we've seen specifically on the Jewish community might be inspired by or perhaps in some way orchestrated by groups linked to Iran. We saw the Iranian ambassador was called in yesterday and spoken to by the UK government and told that in no way can what is being broadcast on social media, it has to stop, that it has to stop, in their words, inciting action here in the UK. We also saw the attack on the Heaton Manor Mosque as well, synagogue, sorry, didn't we, as well, up in the Midlands. This is something that has been bubbling under within the UK for quite a long time.
Absolutely, and it seems to be, it's gone from bubbling over to kind of boiling over. There are these seemingly targeted, repeated attacks or attempted attacks on synagogues in Finchley the other day. Seeming petrol bombs kind of were left right next to the wall of a synagogue. They were attempted to have been, the allegation is that people tried to light them. Thankfully, it didn't work, but we have seen these attacks happen successfully. And there is deep, deep concern in that community that the more that happen, the more will continue to happen, because as people copy them, as those flames are fanned by negative actors, then they will continue happening. And there are people, again, I spoke to in Finchley the other day, members of the Jewish community, but also neighbours of those who fear for their friends, for their community, the people they are living near, that fear that more of these attacks are going to happen. And there are people I've spoken to who are thinking for the first time in their lives, Jewish people, is this the time I now move to Israel? Really terrifying. People feeling so under attack that they're trying to figure out somewhere where it won't happen. And that is a deep concern. As I said, with this incident, it's still very much developing. We have those two statements. I'm going to read that one from the Community Security Trust.
Before you do, Graham, let me just jump in, because we're starting to get some political reaction to this as well. We've got reaction from Chris Philp MP. He says this is yet another appalling anti-Semitic attack. The Jewish community are not being properly protected from this hate. We have seen Iran sponsoring anti-Semitic attacks and Islamist extremism run rampant. The government must urgently step up tangible actions against anti-Semitism, Iran and Islamist extremism. Conservative MP Chris Philp there. Obviously, all the MPs are sitting in the House of Commons with Prime Minister's questions, aren't they, Beth? So they're clearly being made aware of this and they're responding as well. And Sarah Champion MP has also put out a statement on X saying, "Oh, this is horrific. My hearts and prayers go out to the Jewish community." So just two bits of political reaction that we're getting from the Commons at the moment. But yeah, Graham, take us back to the initial accounts that we have. What do we know so far?
So the confirmation that we have so far are from two Jewish security community groups, if you like. One of them is called the Community Security Trust. They describe themselves as the UK's Jewish security organisation and a leading authority on anti-Semitism, extremism and anti-Jewish terrorism. They say in a statement on social media, they said there has been a knife attack today in Golders Green. The suspect has been arrested. We would like to thank Shomrim London, Hatzola and Metropolitan Police UK for their swift response. We are working closely with the police and urge anyone with information to contact the police, Shomrim and CST immediately. I've been reading on the Times of Israel and the Jewish Chronicle as well. They are saying that it was two Jewish people who were stabbed. Again, we haven't managed to confirm this ourselves. We know from another statement that two people have been stabbed. We're not sure of their religion, but they said in the Shomrim statement that they confirmed that one male was seen running along Golders Green Road armed with a knife, and they say that he was attempting to stab Jewish members of the public. A really concerning incident. We are still awaiting confirmation from the Metropolitan Police. I'm sure we will see more political response in due course, as you say. They're all in the Commons at the moment. But this isn't, tragically, this isn't news which, for many members of the Jewish community that I've spoken to in the last few weeks, will be entirely surprising. A lot that I've spoken to have felt under attack. As I said, a couple have said that they were considering moving to Israel because they feel like the level of anti-Semitic attack or the number of anti-Semitic attacks is getting so serious, becoming such a worry to their lives.